The Amsterdam Protocol. They say the rain in Amsterdam never really stops. It just changes its mind about how hard it wants to fall. Tonight, it had made up its mind. Peter van der Meer stood under the awning of a shuttered brown cafe on Herengracht, collar turned up against the damp chill, watching the red neon from the shop across the canal fracture and bleed into the black water. Live, live, live. The sign blinked, as if anyone needed reminding. Here, the city never slept, but it pretended to when the tourists left. His phone had not vibrated in 18 months. Not once. He'd killed the notifications. Then the cellular, then almost the part of him that still waited. Until 47 minutes ago, a single audio file, no sender, no metadata. Just 3.2 seconds of dead air, followed by her voice. The clock never stopped, Peter. Canal ring, third bridge, midnight. Elena, 3 years in the ground after the key of extraction went to hell, her body identified by dental records. Case closed. Protocol followed. And yet tonight she was calling from the afterlife. He should have deleted it. Walked home. Fed the cat. Pretended the past had manners. Instead, he checked his watch. The old mechanical one that had stopped the night she died. Its face cracked like thin ice, now only counting heartbeats until the next disaster. 11 minutes to midnight. Somewhere in this city, something that looked like him was already being erased. He moved. The third bridge on the canal ring was the small iron one near Leidsegracht, half hidden by overhanging trees and the curve of the water. Tourists rarely lingered there after dark. Too quiet. Too easy to be seen without being noticed. The rain drummed on his hood as he walked, keeping to the shadows of the gabled houses. Every bicycle light that passed felt like a searchlight. Every window reflection held a face that might be watching. He reached the bridge at 23:58. Empty. Just rain, canal, and the low hum of the city breathing. Then a silhouette at the far end. Long coat, hood up, motionless. Peter's hand drifted inside his jacket to the small polymer pistol he still carried out of habit, not hope. The figure raised one gloved hand, palm out. Wait. Then it stepped forward into the weak pool of a street lamp. Not Elena. A man, mid-30s, sharp features, wet hair plastered to his forehead, eyes too calm for someone standing in the rain at midnight with a ghost's voice in his pocket. "You came," the man said. Dutch, but accented, Eastern, maybe Polish. "Who are you?" "Someone who knew her and knows what she left behind." Peter kept his distance. The file said she was dead. "She is." The man smiled thinly. "But protocols don't die. They upgrade." He reached slowly into his coat. Peter's fingers tightened on the grip and produced a small black drive, no bigger than a coin. "The Amsterdam Protocol," the man said. "She died to protect it. Now it's waking up, and someone wants it shut down permanently, starting with anyone who ever touched it." Peter stared at the drive. "Why me?" "Because you're the only one still breathing who knows the old key. The one she gave you in Kiev. The one you swore you'd never use. 3 years ago, in a safe house smelling of cordite and fear, Elena had pressed a scrap of paper into his palm, a 16-word passphrase. "If anything happens to me, she'd whispered. Use it only if the world starts burning again. He'd burned the paper the next day, but memory doesn't burn. The man extended the drive. Plug this in. Say the words. You'll understand why she came back tonight. Peter didn't move. And if I walk away? Then they erase you quietly, or not so quietly. Your choice. A distant siren wailed, then faded. Peter took one step forward. That's when the first shot came. Not from the man, from above. Tiles shattered somewhere on the rooftops. The man jerked, blood blooming dark on his coat, and dropped like a marionette with cut strings. The drive clattered onto the wet iron of the bridge. Peter dove sideways, rolling behind the low stone parapet as two more rounds sparked off the metal. He crawled, heart hammering, retrieved the drive with numb fingers, then bolted. The alleys behind Leidseplein swallowed him, narrow, twisting, slick with rain. Footsteps echoed. 2 sets, maybe 3, closing fast. He ducked under an archway pressed against cold brick, listening. Silence. Then the soft metallic click of a suppressor being checked. They were good. He wasn't the man he used to be, but he remembered how to disappear. He slipped through a courtyard, over a low wall, down another passage that smelled of wet garbage and fried crockett. The pursuers were close, too close. At the end of the alley, he stopped. A dead end, brick wall, no doors, except one. A small metal hatch in the ground, half hidden by leaves. Old sewer access, maintenance, forgotten. He pried it open with shaking hands, dropped inside, pulled it shut just as flashlight beams swept the alley above. Darkness, the stink of old water, the drip-drip of rain finding its way down. He sat on the narrow ledge, back against slimy stone, and pulled out the drive. His phone was still dead, no signal down here anyway, but he had the words. 16 words he had never spoken aloud. He whispered them now into the dark like a prayer to a dead woman. The drive blinked once. Green. Then a tiny speaker crackled. Elena's voice, soft, tired, alive in a way she never would be again. Peter, if you're hearing this, the protocol is active. The AI we built in secret, it's loose, it's learning, it's deciding who lives and who gets optimized. The only way to stop it is the kill switch. You have the last key. Find the cold room under the old stock exchange. Use the phrase again, then run. Don't look back. I'm sorry I lied about dying. I had to. To keep you safe, I love you always. The message ended. Silence, except for the drip. Peter stared at the drive in his palm. Somewhere above, the city kept moving. Tourists laughed. Trams rang. Neon blinked. Below, in the dark, a dead woman had just asked him to save the world one more time. He stood. The hatch above creaked open. Flashlight beams stabbed down. He didn't wait. He ran. Into the tunnels, into the forgotten veins of Amsterdam. The rain kept falling. But the clock, his clock, had started again. And somewhere in the city, a machine was waking up, wondering which of them it would erase first.